Find out how to get an extra $90,000 out of Social Security next on Retiring Today. Welcome to Retiring Today. I'm Molly Nelson here with Chawn Honkomp and Loren Merkle. They're both certified financial planners and certified financial fiduciaries. Chawn is also a CPA. Okay, guys, I've been doing some dreaming, an extra $93,000 in retirement. I think I would take several vacations, have a lot of fun, and I'm sure that the people that are watching can also imagine what they do with an extra $90,000 in retirement as well.
Yeah, especially as you get closer and closer to retirement, they are also dreaming probably about some of those very similar things, taking an extra trip, maybe an extra longer trip, that one dream vacation each and every year over the course of their retirement. An extra $90-some thousand can go a long way, not only to help provide that extra lifestyle that you're looking for in retirement, but also extra confidence as you look to make that transition into a world that you've never been in before.
Yeah, and what we want to do today is talk about how one couple squeezes an extra $90,000 out of Social Security. So you can definitely pay for the fun stuff, Chawn, but also $90,000 extra dollars, or 93, let's get more accurate, $93,000 extra dollars in retirement can pay for some of those practical things that will come up as well during the retirement journey.
So much of what we do is trying to maximize and get the most out of everything. So yeah, just think about from one source. If we can help you get $90,000 more out of just one source, that's going to help them with their lifestyle. So there's the required items. We still have bills. You're still going to have, utilities, cell phones, but then it's all these fun. It's the discretionary spending, allowing people to be in a stronger position to achieve all of their retirement goals.
I'm also thinking of any extra money you can get out of your retirement will help you combat inflation, pay for taxes, pay for healthcare, all those other things.
Yeah, we're also talking about maximizing Social Security. So the more money you get out of Social Security, the less money potentially that you have to take out of your investable assets, which could change your entire investment plan as far as how you invest the money, the income strategies, all of that could be impacted just by this one simple idea of getting the most out of Social Security.
Okay, so let's introduce the stars of today's show, because they're also the stars of our online Journey to Retirement workshop. But the stars are John and Sue. And John and Sue are part of the online Journey to Retirement workshop. Today we want to focus on Social Security and how we help them make that election.
We know Social Security is such an important part of a retirement plan, and John and Sue are facing their important Social Security decision. What we do for John and Sue in our Journey to Retirement workshop is we illustrate 3 different Social Security scenarios for them. This helps show them the impact of these different decisions and shows them how that impacts their plan and what it means to their retirement journey. This information helps John and Sue feel better and much more informed as they approach their Social Security decision. Some of the Social Security basics for John and Sue. The full retirement age for each of them is age 67. Really what this means is at your full retirement age, that is when you are eligible to receive your full Social Security benefit. The Social Security Administration defines that as your primary insurance amount. So that's the amount you would get on a monthly basis at your full retirement age. So for John, his primary insurance amount or full Social Security benefit is $3,000. For Sue, she is eligible for $1,800. As we look at these 3 scenarios for John and Sue, we're going to show them what they could expect to receive throughout their retirement journey based on when they start Social Security and if they live to a certain age. If you hit age 65, the average life expectancy for males is 86, and for females, it's 89. So in all 3 of these scenarios, John's going to make it to 86, and Sue's going to live until age 89. Let's look at scenario number 1 for John and Sue. They both choose to elect Social Security and start at their earliest age of age 62. So in this scenario, John and Sue are both going to receive something less than their primary insurance amount. So John will be less than $3,000, Sue will be less than $1,800. John and Sue live out their retirement journey to those average life expectancies. They will receive $941,000 of total Social Security benefit. Scenario number 2 for John and Sue. John decides to wait a few years and he doesn't start Social Security until age 67. Sue sticks with the same decision and starts her benefit at 62. So why might John wait until 67? Well, there's lots of factors. We know in our Journey to Retirement workshop, John plans to work a few years longer than Sue. So while John's working full-time, it doesn't make sense for him to start his Social Security. So because of the various goals and the planning they make, John's in a position to wait until age 67 to start his Social Security. This is the point where John's going to be able to receive that $3,000 of monthly Social Security benefit, while Sue is still going to be receiving something less than her $1,800 per month. John and Sue again live out to their average life expectancy. They will receive $998,000 of total Social Security benefit. Scenario number 3 for John and Sue. John waits until his maximum age of age 70, while Sue decides to start her benefits at 65. And when I say maximum age of age 70, what I mean is that once you hit age 70, you are no longer going to get that guaranteed increase in your Social Security benefit. For John, from his full retirement age of 67 until 70, his Social Security benefit increases a guaranteed 8% each year. So with this scenario, John's going to be receiving something more than $3,000 per month, while Sue would be receiving something just a little less than her $1,800 per month. John and Sue again live out to their average life expectancy, and they will receive $1,034,000 of total Social Security benefit. This is something we see a lot. For a married couple, you can expect to potentially receive more than $1 million of total Social Security during your retirement journey. And for singles or individuals, you can expect for over $500,000 of potential Social Security benefit during your retirement journey. So this is why it can be such an important decision as part of your overall retirement plan. So to recap these 3 scenarios for John and Sue, scenario number 1 provides them with $941,000. Scenario 2 provides them with $998,000, while scenario 3 gives them that $1,034,000. This is where we come up with that $93,000 difference in total Social Security benefits. John and Sue have all this information. They're feeling really great as they approach their Social Security decision. Now, this isn't the sole reason that's going to drive their decision. We've still got to think about your health. You're going to be thinking about that as you continue your retirement journey, but all other factors being the same, John and Sue have the information they need to make a better decision, and they're feeling great about receiving that $93,000 more of Social Security benefit. We talk about these goals and that spending. They're going to be in a stronger position to achieve their retirement goals.
Do you guys find that when you do this for people in visits, so you do this in the online Journey to Retirement workshop, but you do something very similar for people when they sit down and you're helping them put together a comprehensive plan. Do you find that this is the first time someone's really quantified all this for them and put it in numbers?
Recently, I had a conversation where somebody came into us for the very first time, and I was talking about the up to 81 different Social Security options that they had, and she goes, 81 different options? How do we go through all that complexity? Yes, very, very much. When we go through that type of exercise, that's the first time that there's actually a number around what their Social Security decisions mean. Most of the time, it's a lot of guesswork. It's a lot of guesswork that they've heard somebody say they should take it right away at 62. They've heard that they should wait all the way up until 70 to take advantage of the 8% per year increase on lifetime income. They've heard a lot of things, but this is the first time there's some concreteness around what this decision actually means to them. And then, as you mentioned, Chawn, what a confidence booster when you get to walk through your options and what this decision means to you, what this decision means to you, and then you're making a decision not because somebody else said you should do this, but because you know that's the right decision for you.
Yeah, and I know I've heard both of you say it's not uncommon for people to be working with someone before they meet us for the first time or meet our retirement planners for the first time, and they've had someone say to them, go ahead and elect Social Security, let me know what you do, and then get back to you. And I know that makes you guys go, hang on a second, let's do this in connection with all of these other decisions, and let's work on this together.
It is a different experience. We have the opportunity to talk with a lot of people. Obviously, we don't start working with every single person we get to interact with, but we are getting that feedback a lot. You're telling us that as you talk to other advisors, it's easy to say we help you with that. Right? But that's a pretty wide open. We don't necessarily know what that means. And that's why we try to make sure you understand when we say we help you with that, that's something our team does. This is within the walls of Merkle Retirement Planning. So during the visits that we'll have with you, when it comes time to elect Social Security for you, our team does that for you. That's in addition. Another component is the Medicare. When it comes time to elect and start Medicare, our team does that for you. So when we say we help you with it, that's happening right here And we're going to help people make that decision so that we feel really good about it.
And the reason we can do that with confidence is because we're building out the full retirement plan. Chawn, what you walked them through is that's a social security decision independent of what they're doing with their investments, how else are they going to deliver income that they need for their lifestyle, what are they doing from their tax plan. So when we build out this plan for people, we're putting all of that into consideration, and then we can look at their social security options and say, yes, this is in fact the right decision for you because of all of these factors, as opposed to most advisors aren't building that plan. So there's really not all that information available to them to help you make that decision with Social Security.
And we often hear there's so much that's part of a retirement plan. You talk about the 6 pillars. Well, Social Security decision is part of the income plan, but that's just part of one of the 6 pillars. So there is a lot going on. There's a lot that we help the families do that we work with.
We'll answer your questions from our online Journey to Retirement workshop and continue talking about Social Security next.
You dream of a happy retirement, but there are some big questions to answer first. Do I have enough saved? When should I take Social Security? How will I pay for health care and keep up with inflation? Go to MerkleRetire.com to schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call to talk directly with a retirement planner and get answers to your important retirement questions. The first step to your retirement starts with a 15-minute retirement checkup call.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. I'm here with Loren Merkle and Chawn Honkomp. It's time to answer questions from you. These are questions we receive during our online Journey to Retirement workshop. Here's a question we got recently. What are the odds that an individual will need long-term care in a facility for more than 2 years? And guys, we're going to first start off with some stats from longtermcare.gov. Someone turning age 65 today has almost a 70% chance of needing some type of long-term care services and supports in their remaining years.
And then if we break that down to men and women, men on average will need long-term care for about 2.2 years and women about 3.7.
And then the information also tells us that 1/3 of today's 65-year-olds may never need long-term care, but 20% will need it for more than 5 years.
Which is a big number, because a lot of people, when we're talking about the duration of long-term care, will say on average people will need it for less than 3 years. But there's 25% of people that on average will actually need it for more than 5 years, which that extra 2 years can be really expensive.
And that covers the duration, how long you'll need it. The cost is a whole nother thing. You said you were just visiting with a family who told you about some numbers that are just really, really expensive.
Just in a visit this week, working with a couple that we've been working with for a while, she told me that her dad is now in a center and not in a metro, kind of went out to maybe a smaller town. And my mind, before they shared anything, thought, hey, maybe that helped lower that cost a little bit. But then they told me $13,000 to $15,000 per month for full-time care.
It's very expensive, but we know that 70% of those over age 65 could need some kind of long-term care. So here's the point, guys, you can't ignore it. You've got to build it into a long-term retirement plan, a comprehensive retirement plan. That's what you help people do. So how do you help people wrap their mind around these numbers and the fact that they could need long-term care?
This topic is going to be part of the conversation at some stage of your retirement journey, and we often our focus is to help educate. Let's start that conversation. We've got to start somewhere. This isn't something we worry about in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So we talk to people about and tell you that there's 4 main strategies that are part of a long-term care plan. 2 of those strategies that most people are familiar with, one is to self-insure, which is really where we just assume the risk. That means we choose to do nothing. And that's an okay decision to make. If we build your plan, we have these conversations, we get the information you need, and you still choose to do nothing, that's okay. That's still the most common decision. But our process at least is going to help you understand what that potential impact is. We want to talk about that cost. And we can show your plan and say, hey, here's what it potentially looks like for you if you were to have an average stay or maybe even a longer stay. So now you're going to feel better about possibly making that decision to still assume that risk and do nothing. And then one of the other strategies is that traditional long-term care. And the reason that maybe this is starting to become less and less common is because of the experience. With traditional long-term care, that's something you might pay for a number of years. And then if we possibly go the ideal way of passing peacefully away in our sleep in our own bed at a ripe old age, then we never need that. And there's no return from that insurance policy. So you as consumers are saying, hey, we want something different. And that's where these other 2 strategies come into play.
Yeah, another option would be you can use your investments. There's investment products out there that you can use that will produce a lifetime income. So as long as you're alive, it'll produce an income. Let's just call it $2,000 a month. But then if you lose 2 of the 6 daily living activities, then that income, that $2,000 a month, would increase, oftentimes double for up to 5 years, as long as you still have lost 2 of the 6 daily living activities. So that's more of a supplemental approach and also it's going to be dependent upon how much you invest in the product. Is it going to deliver 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 1,000, right? So you have a lot of control mechanisms. The benefit of that is there is no underwriting. So a lot of people can't qualify for long-term care insurance or other options. With this, there's no underwriting. It's just an investment you use. It produces lifetime income for you. And if you need it, then it'll be there to help offset long-term care costs. The 4th option is what we call the hybrid option, which is basically a combination of what people would think of a traditional long-term care policy and a life insurance policy, meaning that it really is a life insurance policy. So if you never need long-term care, you pass away, it produces a tax-free death benefit to your beneficiaries. However, if you do need long-term care, then, and these are all written a little bit differently, but commonly what we see is it'll produce 20% of that death benefit for up to a 5-year period of time. So let's say you have a $100,000 death benefit, it would produce $20,000 a year. After that 5 years, then the death benefit is gone. So if you pass away, there is no more death benefit, but you get to use that while you're alive to help offset the cost of long-term care. A disadvantage of that policy is you do have to qualify. You have to be underwritten. An advantage of that is you can control how much of the long-term care you want to offset, how much of that long-term care expense. You could have a $100,000 death benefit, a $1 million death benefit, which would produce about $200,000 a year of benefit towards long-term care. So you can construct this really any way that you want to, assuming that that is an option that's available to you. It doesn't matter to us which one of those 4 options you use. What you need to do is identify which is going to be the best option for you. And first, how we do that is by building out the plan. We'll identify, can you self-insure? What does it look like if you self-insure? And if you're comfortable with that, you're good. If not, we look at the other options and see which is the best for you.
Guys, in just a few minutes, we went from dreaming of extra vacations to talking about long-term care. But that really illustrates that retirement is a journey. It's a journey with ups and downs, but it's a journey that's better traveled when you have a plan. And that's exactly what you do for John and Sue in the online Journey to Retirement workshop. You help them build a plan.
Yeah, we looked through the 6 pillars of our retirement planning process, and there's so many things. We've got to think about all this. There's the great life events that are going to happen in the retirement journey. There's going to be some maybe unplanned, not so great events that we're all going to face. So it's important to have that information. That's our main role, is to help educate you, help inform you about what you need to be thinking about. That's a question we get all the time. We get on that pre-retirement stage of life, and you don't necessarily know what you need to be thinking about because you've never been through this stage of life, and that's where someone like us helps.
Okay, so here's what helps is going to the online Journey to Retirement workshop. You'll meet John and Sue. They make that Social Security decision. They talk about healthcare, Medicare, long-term care, but there's more. There's more decisions that John and Sue have to make. Find out what they are by going to retirewithmerkle.com and signing up for a retirement date that works for you, and then getting ready to go on a journey to retirement. We're going to continue talking about Social Security next.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
Anytime I have even the smallest question about my accounts or what effect the latest tax law might have on my situation, the Merkle Retirement Planning team is always there and quick to help. I'm so glad they treat you like family. I'm so happy to have such an excellent team working for my future and ensuring I do the best to achieve my financial goals.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Do you wonder if you have enough saved for retirement? Will your money last as long as you do? Will taxes, healthcare costs, and inflation derail your retirement? Get answers. Schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call today. We can cover a lot in 15 minutes, including strategies you can implement now to start your retirement journey. Schedule a call at merkleretire.com. The first step to a confident retirement starts with a simple phone call.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. I'm here with Loren Merkle and Chawn Honkomp, and we are talking about Social Security. Okay, we're excited about John and Sue. They got their extra $90,000 out of Social Security, but we know, Loren, that a lot of people make their Social Security decision independent. They don't have a spouse. They're on their own.
Yeah, you're single for whatever reason that is, but it's still a really meaningful benefit. So you want to make sure that you get it right, and you still want to have confidence when you make this decision. Your decision, however, is less complex than if you are married. So instead of 81 options, you have significantly less. Instead of $1 million, it might total about $500,000. And this is really important, even more so important, to incorporate with the other income elements that you have available to you within your plan. So what are you going to do from an investment standpoint to generate additional income up and above what you get out of Social Security? You do not have the survivorship benefit that you have to worry about calculating into this equation when it comes to Social Security. So now it's about all of the other features of your plan that could be impacted by this Social Security decision. Now, what if you're single, but you used to be married? Now you may have as many options as if you're currently married. If you're a widow or widower, then you might have a survivorship benefit that you can elect as soon as age 60, and then you can allow your benefit to continue to grow all the way up until age 70 if you want to, and there's a lot of combination options that you have between those ages. So it just depends on your situation, but if you're single, I wouldn't just say, let's take Social Security as soon as you possibly can. Still go through the evaluation that's very similar to the married couples, and then identify the decision that makes the most sense for you, and you're going to feel equally as good and confident about that decision.
Yeah, and Loren spoke to one of the things that sometimes happens to people, Chawn, that you've seen, is they get kind of locked in on maybe even 10 years before retirement or 10 years before Social Security. They get locked in on an age in which they're going to elect, but really there's some factors you should look at right before election to see when the right time is.
There can be a couple of reasons why people do get locked in. You kind of alluded to it earlier, that if you ask 3 different people, you're going to get 3 different opinions, and then you might gravitate towards one and say that's the best. Or oftentimes too, that a lot of people will link the retirement decision with the Social Security election decision. These are 2 separate decisions. They don't have to happen at the same time. So let's say you're age 60. We work with a lot of people prior to age 62, which is when you can start Social Security. You shouldn't be worried about trying to lock in and make that decision. We can't make that decision yet. So what we want to do is, once we hit age 62, we have that opportunity to consider it. But that's the time where we want to look at the conditions and the factors. We've got to start thinking about what your health looks like. Big part is we've got to think about what the markets are doing. You know, the reason we elect Social Security is to provide for an income source. Another additional income source, or not additional, but another income source, is to take distributions from those balances. And if these balances are up here, let's say the markets are doing really well, that gives us an opportunity to sell high. And that might put us in a spot where we don't elect Social Security and we consider it maybe a year from now. And now, again, what we do there is we got to look at the conditions. So we got to weigh everything and try to help people make the decision that helps them maximize their Social Security.
Yeah, and I don't think people often think of the stock market and their Social Security decision being linked, but it's a great reminder, Loren, that there's so much that goes into a comprehensive retirement plan. The Journey to Retirement workshop really goes through all of the decisions that you'll have to make in retirement.
One of the hardest parts about putting together a retirement plan is what is a retirement plan, what all goes into it. And in this online Journey to Retirement workshop, we cover all 6 pillars of what should be included in your retirement plan. So you get the whole plan, but in addition to that, you get specific strategies like the one where John and Sue get an extra $93,000 out of their Social Security alone. We talk about specific tax planning strategies where they decrease over $100,000 off of their tax bill. So talking about dreaming, that's a really effective way that John and Sue can finance their dreams throughout the course of their retirement.
Who is a good fit for the online Journey to Retirement workshop?
If anybody age 57 or older, it's a perfect fit for you to learn more about what having a retirement plan means. Another hard part of building that plan is to get started. This is a tremendous opportunity to help you get started. This is going to allow you to take step 1, start getting more information, and then now every step you take there is going to get you closer to feeling really confident about their retirement journeys.
And I just want to note that John and Sue are the stars of the online Journey to Retirement workshop. And if you're not married, a lot of the information, or almost all of the information, transfers as well, right?
Almost all of it transfers to if you're not married. If you're single today, a lot of these strategies are still going to be very applicable to you. So it doesn't matter what your marital status is or your tax filing status. You have a retirement goal. You have dreams that you want to live. You have resources available to you. Now let's make it happen. And that's what the Journey to Retirement workshop really allows you to do, is take these strategies, all of these strategies, distill them into an effective strategy, effective plan for you to help you realize your dreams over the course of retirement.
You can go to retirewithmerkle.com to sign up. Once you get there, you'll choose a time and a date that works for you, and then get ready to go on a journey to retirement. It will be an eye-opening experience, and you'll learn a lot about the decisions that come with retirement. This is Retiring Today, and we thank you for watching.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
You dream of a happy retirement, but there are some big questions to answer first. Do I have enough saved? When should I take Social Security? How will I pay for health care and keep up with inflation? Go to MerkleRetire.com to schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call to talk directly with a retirement planner and get answers to your important retirement questions. The first step to your retirement starts with a 15-minute retirement checkup call.